Today I'm going to create a very unusual recipe. In fact, it's a world first, a fine dining dish for possibly my most severe critic ever, a cat. Now why, I hear you ask? Well, it's been created exclusively for More Than Pet Insurance to show just how far cat owners will go to make sure they get the very best for their pets. Now we've got some beautiful ingredients for this. We've got some duck, we've got lobster, we've even got caviar. But rest assured, everything that we're using has been created in conjunction with a well-renowned vet to make sure that it's safe for a cat to eat, and from my point of view, it's also delicious. So to start, we're going to make a little bit of garnish for it, which is a squash puree. So cube our lovely butternut squash. We'll just sit underneath our sushi so it looks pretty, because as you know, the first part of eating is always going to be with our eyes. So if the dish looks pretty, then straight away it's going to work. And I think that's true of cats as well. I don't know. I've never been to a cat restaurant. So what we do, we pop the squash into our pan, bring that to the boil, and then we cook that for about 10-15 minutes. Now the next thing we're going to do, our duck, a tiny little sprinkle of salt. Pop in a couple of bay leaves into there, and then just rub a little bit of thyme. Roast these quite low, at 180 degrees for about 45 minutes. Our feline friend can have a really nice soft eat on that. Now, if you don't fancy duck, or if duck is a little bit too expensive for what you do, chicken legs would work just as well and do it exactly the same way. Now, we're going to do lobster sushi. This is our raw sushi rice. Into the water it goes, and we cook that for about 20 minutes until it's done. And I just want to talk you through this a little bit. This is just a bit of garnish that we're going to do at the end. So we've got beetroot juice, we have a little bit of vinegar, we've got some orange peel, a bit of sugar, a little bit of black pepper. And this stuff here, this is called agar. And all we do, we boil all of that up together, pop it into a tray, and you end up with this magnificent little sheet. It's garnish, it's going to look pretty. Again, I want my feline friend to look and go, that is the nicest looking dish I've ever seen in my life. Now the lobster, we've cooked off the lobster already. And you want small pieces again, you think about the size of a cat's mouth, you want to make sure that it's nice and small. And again, if you want to use tuna, when you use something fresh from the fish point of view, then you could use prawns, are fairly cheap these days, get some nice cheap frozen prawns, choline, whiting, any sort of cheap white fish would work just as well. Okay, so there's our lobster. Then, alongside that we have avocado. And again, what we're looking to do is cook the avocado to be pretty much a similar size to our pieces of lobster. Beautiful. Now, our duck is cooked. Look at this. Oh. It smells delicious. All those delicious thyme and the bay leaf and the duck itself is quite beautiful. So we're just going to let that sit there. Most exciting bit for me is this. This is going to be our lobster sushi. And we get our sheet of nori and a good spread of rice. And normally you would have vinegar and you'd have sugar in with the rice. We're not going to do that because obviously we're doing this for a cat. So we literally get it and we flip it over. Then we have a little line of rice again. We then have our avocado. And then we get our lobster meat. Okay, so that's the difficult bit of this stuff. Then what we do, using our sushi mat, we bring that around like that. So we're making it into a more of a cube shape rather than purely for presentation. Look, there we have our beautiful log of sushi. Now, the duck, hopefully, just about cool enough to handle. There. And what we want is all of the meat from the duck. And really, all we need is that kind of amount. Some of these little bits of meat are quite chewy on them, and that's going to work the cat's teeth, work the cat's jaw. That is quite delicious. Okay, we're ready to plate it. So this is about making it look pretty, and it's a small portion, remember, it's for a cat. So a little bit of our squash puree, and then we simply run a line across. And then for our sushi, warm knife, and we cut through. Then we sit that at the end. And I'm just going to do almost a little trail of our roasted duck. Remember our beetroot jelly? So this is now set to to a really lovely, firm slab of glorious beetrootiness. And what we want, just some little cubes. And again, this is a nice texture. Little small pieces for a cat. And we'll simply pop those around the plate. This is the pièce de résistance. This is our lovely, beautiful beluga caviar. A little dollop of that on the top of our sushi. And just the odd little egg around the rest of the plate. There you go. The world's first feline fine dining dish. And for more information, go to inside.morethan.com.